made slime, you guys gotta give this a chance. No matter how old you are, you gotta do it. It is such a stress relieving thing to play with. It's kind of like a form of meditation. I even sat there like playing with it for ages, and stress, anxiety just like flew out the window. And today I'll show you guys how to make these 5 slimes properly, because we went through some trial and error before we got these right. So hopefully we can share our learnings with you. I want you guys to tell me which one your favorite is, that was the most satisfying to watch. Hold up, if you guys aren't part of the family yet here already, I encourage you guys to join. Just click the subscribe button and you'll be automatically entered into the Kona Snackbook Error giveaway. The other thing you need to do is be part of the Vlog Squad, which means subscribe to my vlog channel, which is linked down below. And guys, don't forget to turn on your notifications if you are subscribed, as I like to hang around and comment. And for this week's like challenge, let's get this video to 149,000 thumbs up. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's go. Oh my gosh guys, I love fluffy slime. It's super easy to make and it feels so light and airy compared to regular slime, and you can make a huge slime without using a lot of glue. We stay up till we see the sun. The materials you'll need are some bowls, a mixing spoon, shaving foam, Elmer's glue, contact lens solution, some baking soda, and some food coloring of your choice. First, add some Elmer's glue or PVA glue into your bowl, and you don't actually need a lot of it for this kind of slime to work. Then give your shaving foam a bit of a shake and squeeze some into the bowl as well. I'm actually doing 2 bowls at the same time because I want to make 2 different colors. Next, add a pinch of baking soda into the mixture. The baking soda basically loosens the stickiness of the slime so it doesn't stick on your hands too much. But make sure you don't add too much of it, otherwise the slime will completely fall apart. Next, give this mixture a good mix. I don't know why, but it reminded me so much of pavlova and whipped cream, and I got hungry doing this. Once it's mixed though, it's time to add some color. So I used a few drops of red food coloring first and mixed it in well. Because there's so much shaving foam, you can use a few more drops of color and it'll turn into this beautiful pastel pink, which is super cute. When you've mixed enough, it's now time to add the contact lens solution. Basically, you just add a small amount of solution to your mixture and mix it until it becomes a slime. You want to take your time with this part, because if you put too much contact lens solution in too quickly, it'll turn the slime too hard, and instead of being stretchy, it'll just snap when you pull it and break apart. I think I was a little too cautious, so it actually took a while, but hey, slow and steady wins the race, right? You can tell when it's almost ready by seeing how the slime starts sticking to itself as you mix it, and it no longer sticks to the side of the bowl. You can test it at this point with a quick tap of your finger to see if it comes off your finger. If it sticks on and comes off cleanly, you're ready to start massaging it with your hands. At this point, you're basically done, and you can put it on the table and play with it to your heart's content. It's actually so much softer and lighter than regular slime and feels so light and fluffy in your hands, which I guess is why it's called fluffy slime. Yeah. It also makes the funniest sounds when you squish it. Very, very satisfying, guys. You take me over. Though the feeling comes and goes, a fever dream I know. You pull me closer. Next, I'm going to use some blue food coloring for the other bowl I prepared. Just put a few drops and mix it well. And then you should end up with a cute blue pastel color. Mix it with your contact lens solution again and watch it turn into fluffy slime right in front of you. Again, I used the finger test to make sure it wasn't still too sticky, and then took it out and played around with it. I honestly think this is one of the best stress relievers out there because I completely lost track of time whilst playing with it. The next thing I did was to make some pastel purple fluffy slime with my blue and red slime by simply mixing a small batch of them together. So now I have pink, purple and blue fluffy slime that any unicorn would be proud of. The final thing to do is mix them all together to make unicorn fluffy slime. make sure you have some plastic airtight containers to store the slime in so you can play with it again later. It'll keep for a few weeks if stored well. You definitely don't want to throw away all your hard work. Crunchy slime has got to be one of the best slimes to play with just because of the sound it makes. So here's how you can make it.
Take me down to the city at night.
You'll need a mixing bowl, some Stay Flow liquid starch, some clear PVA glue, clear beads, and some food coloring. So the first step is to pour in some clear PVA or Elmer's glue into your bowl. I used about 100 ml of glue, but obviously the amount depends on how much crunchy slime you want to make. Next, I added a drop of red food coloring. Because of the nature of this slime, you want to make sure you don't put too much food coloring here, otherwise your slime may become too dark. So mix your color in carefully and a little bit at a time. Next, take some Stay Flow and slowly add it into your slime mix. You can see it starts to make it slimy pretty quickly, so keep adding your Stay Flow as you mix to slowly solidify your slime. When it looks ready, you can take it out of the bowl and obviously play around with it first. I love how the clear glue makes this slime look so reflective and shiny. Even though it's a little bit opaque right now, that's because you made air bubbles from the mixing, but if you let the slime sit for a day, those air bubbles will come right out and the slime will end up looking super clear. After you've played with it enough, you're going to add your clear beads in. I found some really pretty beads from the local dollar store, and I've seen people use glass beads, and mine were plastic, but honestly they worked just as well. Plus these beads had a unicorn colored iridescent coat, which made them look even better. Spread your slime out on a table and then just add your beads to the slime. Fold the beads into the slime and they should incorporate nicely. You'd be surprised just how many beads a small amount of slime can take into it. Once it's done, you have made crunchy slime. The stickiness of the slime and the beads hitting each other as you play with it makes it sound crunchy. And yes, this is extremely satisfying to play with, and the sound is just so soothing for me. I don't know why.
And you all glowed up. These girls start to show up. Then they acting like they know ya. Girl, you just messed up.
Here you can see I made a clear blue crunchy slime as well previously. This one was made 2 days ago and I kept it stored in an airtight container, and you can see how clear this slime looks in comparison because all the air bubbles have had time to settle, and the best thing is it keeps its crunch, which is what we want.
Lights turn red. My mind's on green. Ain't color blind.
Floam slime is basically a slime version of a floam, which is like a moldable clay that's full of tiny little foam balls. And this kind of slime basically behaves like something halfway between foam and slime, and it feels so nice. To make foam slime, you'll need a mixing bowl, some foam balls, Stay Flow liquid starch, Elmer's glue, and food coloring. So first thing I'm sure you guys know by now is to pour in your glue, as much glue as you want, there's no rule here. Next I added some food coloring. Now I really wanted to make a minty green color, so I took a tiny amount of blue and green dye and mixed them into the glue. I think the color turned out really nice, so the next step is to add Stay Flow and mix it until it becomes slime. This slime is super sticky, super stretchy, and it's basically your standard slime recipe. So if you wanted to make regular slime, you can stop here. It's still really awesomely fun to play with, which is what I'm gonna do right now. I got these foam balls from the dollar store, and I love these because they had bits of glitter covering them, which I couldn't resist. You can buy smaller foam balls or larger ones, it's really up to you, as long as they aren't too big. Again, spread out your slime on the table and then pour your foam balls onto it. It's really satisfying actually watching the foam balls stick to it and stay. Like, I could watch this all day. Mix it well. I think you'll probably find, like me, that you can add more foam to it than you initially thought possible, and that's it. You now have foam slime. This slime can be molded to various shapes, unlike regular slime, and holds itself together pretty well. When I let it split into multiple strands and let them fall, I thought the foam balls running down the strands looked so interesting, kinda like little water drops. Foam slime also happens to be quite noisy, which I love, so that was an added bonus. Butter slime is probably one of the hardest slimes to make, but it ends up looking super similar to butter, not surprisingly, but it's definitely not edible, so please don't try and eat it at home. I am not responsible for that.
Star drifters, can you feel that one love?
To make butter slime, you'll need some contact lens solution, baking soda, a mixing bowl, Elmer's PVA glue, corn flour, shaving cream, and some food coloring. Yes, this is by far the most complicated slime recipe, and these amounts need to be followed pretty carefully. So first add 3 tablespoons of corn flour, then 3 tablespoons of PVA glue, now 3 heaped tablespoons of shaving foam. This is a little hard to do accurately, so just try your best, and 4 pinches of baking soda. And then add some yellow food coloring so that it looks like butter. Give this a good mix and it should feel a little bit like cake mix. Next, add 2 teaspoons of contact lens solution, and this should be the perfect amount to turn it into a slime once mixed. Finally, add half a teaspoon of baby oil to give the butter some oily shine, and you're done.
Come together, making memories in motion with the traces of the chosen. Let's come together with a heart wide open.
Doesn't this look so much like a glove of butter? When you spread this with a knife, it actually looks like a thick layer of soft butter because of the texture, and it's not like regular yellow slime because it actually holds its shape rather than melt into a puddle if left for a while. Just don't leave it lying around in case some other people think it's butter and they try and eat it. That's no good. This iceberg slime is so cool, haha, get it? The top layer is hard, but the bottom is squishy. It's actually really satisfying to play with. It almost looks like a sponge cake. To make iceberg slime, you'll need a mixing bowl, some baby powder, borax, Elmer's glue, shaving foam, hand lotion, and food coloring. First, empty out a bottle of Elmer's glue into your bowl. Yes, the whole bottle. Then give your shaving foam a good shake and empty that out completely as well. Remember to get a big bowl or this is gonna get quite messy. Add 3 pumps of hand lotion to add some silkiness to your slime, then 4 pumps of baby powder to give it a matte finish. Finally, add some blue and green food coloring to make the slime look like ice water. Now use those arm muscles and mix this all together. Trust me, it gets pretty tiring and I worked up a bit of a sweat doing this, plus my arm got a bit sore, I will admit that. And also, did I mention you need a lot of food coloring? And I mean a lot. I was so surprised, like I almost emptied the whole bottle out of frustration because every drop just disappeared. I actually got so tired mixing this at one point that I started playing around with the colors and made some pretty cool patterns, but I was secretly just resting. When you're ready, add 1 teaspoon of borax into 1 cup of hot water and slowly add it to your iceberg slime mix. As it slimes up, it'll get even tougher to mix, so just keep at it. It's okay if things get a bit messy because you can easily use the slime itself to clean everything up in the end. I think this is pretty much the biggest slime I've ever made, and it was so much fun to play around with. It seriously looked like a big slime monster when I was playing with it. I lifted it up and made waterfalls. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. No, stop attacking me! And then when you're ready and finished playing with it, try putting it into the bowl and pat it down flat to let it sit for 2 to 3 days. I put mine in the fridge as well for the last day just to dehydrate the top layer a little bit more, and it makes it a little bit more crunchy. So when it's ready, the top layer should be pretty solid and you can literally break it like an iceberg. The best thing about it is you can keep folding the top ice layer in, and eventually it'll just become a regular slime again. And if you want, you can make another iceberg slime by setting it aside again. Lastly, the moment I've been waiting for is here. It's time to mix all the slimes together into one giant slime. Make sure you only do this once you're done playing with your slime, because otherwise the pretty colors will be gone forever and it'll just become this mess. Honestly, these colors were so magical, so for me it was totally worth it. Look at how huge this slime is, guys. It's almost too heavy for me, but it was so fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the slime, because I reckon it's one of the most satisfying things, and I personally will sit there and watch slime being played with for hours. Just a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, really. So how satisfying was this video? Oh my gosh, I had so much fun, like you have no idea. It doesn't really matter how old you are, you really gotta try this. And you guys gotta let me know right now which one is your favorite down below right now. I loved fluffy slime, that was life. And if you guys try any of these, don't forget to share it with me on #WingyCons on social media. And let's have a look at what happened on Reacticons this week. And if you guys didn't know, that's my second channel with Matt, so don't forget to check it out. We make daily content there, so it's really cool to be able to see you guys every single day. And otherwise, I'm gonna miss you guys so much. I'm gonna see you back here next week. And until then, farewell. Bye! Love you!